5%. Clearly, Singaporean employers do feel very strongly that their rights are being overlooked.
Yes, they do. But I think that the point is that there's another set of rights involved, which is that of the domestic worker. And if we don't take account of that, we're going to see the number of workers who come to Singapore falling. But we'll also see more cases of workers falling, for example, or maybe delivering less when they're working for a family. If a worker doesn't refresh herself and get a change of scene, she's going to be a very stale worker.
As any worker.
And if you want somebody to look after your kids, for example, or they're looking after an older person, one of the important things is to have conversations with them. How can you have a decent conversation if you don't have a change of scene? You don't have other things that you bring into their lives.
Okay, so variety, changing of job scopes perhaps, communication, these are all things that go into the employment process and the relationship built up there. Thank you, Joe, because I want to come to our tweets right now. You can, of course, tweet us at TP Vote, and I've got several votes and tweets coming through. This is new to me. I'm not a tweeter, a twatter, I'm not sure what to call it. We've got Cheryl Fu who's standing by, and her tweet actually that she sent through. Cheryl, hello. You say that if you don't trust a domestic helper to take care of your child, don't employ a domestic helper. That is what you said. We want to continue the discussion at TP Vote. Keep sending them in, and we will read them live on air. We're going to go to the phones right now. The other way that you can get through to us, Amy is joining us on 669-10028. Amy, hello. I understand, Amy, that you are a foreign domestic worker working in Singapore. What do you think about the issue of rights? Who has more rights, the employer or you, the domestic worker?
Oh, hi, hello.
Hi, you're on the air, Amy. What do you think about this issue, Amy?
Okay, for me, from my point of view, is that employers, with respect with them, as a maid, I think that we should follow the rules. So when they allow the maids, I think they should just give a rules on the off days that they go at 8 o'clock, they should come back at 10. And we ourselves, we should follow that. And I think that would be a good arrangement between the employer and the maid as well.
I understand, Amy. Thank you. So is this something that has been very beneficial for you in your relationship with your employer, building up trust?
Yes, of course. Yes, because when they tell me I go at 8, I come back at 10, I try my best to come back on time. If I cannot come back, I make a call.
Yeah.
I'll just let them know that I'll be late in 10 minutes or 15 minutes roughly.
Amy, what happens if you feel that it's unfair? What if you think it's an unfair rule being put upon you? Do you still accept it and follow it along?
Say again, sorry?
What if you feel that the rule is unfair?
Oh, I think it shouldn't be unfair if both parties will agree in the decision. I mean, you listen to the employer and the employer should listen to the maid as well.
I understand.
And then compromise with each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Amy, for calling through 669-10028. Mr. Ang, I understand it's a very similar situation to what you have, which is the idea of trying to reach mutual accordance.
Yes. You laid down the rules, but your maid broke the rules.
Yes, to cross the line.
And what happened after that? Were you able to rebuild the trust?
Well, once trust is broken, it takes time. So gradually, what we do is we try to, maybe on an ad hoc basis, let her run some of her own errands, go down, buy some clothes, have some free time on their own as well. But it does hinder us to try out again to give her an idea about that is when trust is broken and when you don't have trust, that is a very big issue.
Mark, can I ask you, when someone like Mr. Ang says, okay, we let you have a day off, but you come back at a certain time, is that too much to ask?
Well, a day off is for the domestic worker is a day off,
So you're saying it's 24 hours?
It's 24 hours for the day off, it's a day off. Certain thing that we have to, as an agreement with the employer, okay, what time you come back and what time you come back. It builds a trust, yes, you have to be, have to be compliant with that, yes, I have to come back on time. But the thing is, some employees in Singapore, is giving time is 3 p.m. 3 p.m. come back, 12 o'clock you go, 3 p.m. come back.
Yeah.
That's what the point of a day off.
That's right. Yeah.
It's a lot happening in my friends, a lot, and this is not called a day off.
Right. John, do you feel that the rules are clearly defined as far as the timing, or define what a day off means?
Well, we have to think about that a lot. But I think when I first came to Singapore, my wife's family employed a black and white, and she would be gone in the morning before breakfast, and she would come back around about midnight, and she spent most of the time playing mahjong. Now, there was a clear basis of trust, but it was understood that she had a day off, and that was completely her time. And I think we have to accept that. There's no other job where we would keep somebody all week in the same place working for somebody, and we wouldn't expect, and we would think they have to be accountable all that time. It's a real strain to be on call for 24 hours a day. So it's important that domestic workers, when they have a day off, that it really is a day off, that they go out, that they have a real change of scene, they're able to meet friends, and they come back revitalized after that.
We're going to pick up some more calls and hear what people have to say. 669-10028. We know that Judy has called through. Judy, you feel when it comes to this issue that we're discussing about the day off, hi Judy, you feel that when it comes to the day off that perhaps, yes, they can be given the day off as a foreign domestic worker, but they need not leave the home, is that correct?
Yes.
Why do you think so?
Yeah, I agree that, on human rights, we have to give them a day off. They can't go 7/24. However, we can make some arrangements for them to rest at home and not do work on that particular day. This would help, the maids not to go out and maybe mix with the wrong company, so to speak, if the employer is not comfortable or they're not ready to handle it.
Should this be the norm? Do you think? Should this be the norm? Should this be the norm for everybody, or do you think this is something you do at the beginning to get used to the idea and perhaps change it further down the road?
No, I think it should be a day off. The day off is how you ascertain and how you define it. Can be arranged between the employer and employee. I mean, if they could just rest at home, that's a day off.
Understood. Judy, thank you so much for airing your opinion.
Just one other thing.
Yes, of course, go ahead.
I know of friends who also bring them out as a family together, and enjoy the day together if they're close enough.
As a day off?
Yeah.
I understand.
Go out with the family, the kids and so on, and have the lunch and all together.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Judy, for sharing that with us and those experiences. Mr. Ang, let me come to you. Would you agree with those options as a day off option? Could that be something that you discussed with your domestic worker?
Yes, I think what we did for the arrangement as well was, when she was with us on a day off, we actually don't she don't have to do any work for us. She can just rest, breathe. Yeah, but the only request is to stay at home. I think the concern that I shared with her was also the same. Is we are just very concerned with who are they associating with? Would they be picking up bad influences?
So you're not opposed to the idea of a day off, but who they're.
But it's going out. Yeah. That's the issue. John, you wanted to jump in on that?
No, I think that we just have to be more realistic about this, because we're dealing with adults. Yeah. Domestic workers are supposed to be 23 when they come here. And if we can accept that our own teenage children go out on their own, what we do is we try and lay down ground rules. We warn them about people who are unpleasant or who are untrustworthy, and we say we don't want them to do things. We would warn them about drugs, for example, or anything like that. But once you've done that, that's what you can do with a domestic worker. So she understands that there's certain things that are not acceptable to you.
To play devil's advocate, a parent might do that to their child, yes, but the parent would have had the benefit of raising that child from birth and imparting some of these values for maybe the last 15, 18, 20 years. This, for a domestic worker, might be somebody new, a month, 2 months with the family.
Yes, but she is an employee, and this is very important. That you have to recognize that this is another human being and you're entering into this employment relationship. Yeah. You don't, as an employer, if you worked in a bank, for example, and the bank started saying how you should behave at the weekend, you'd probably walk off that job.
Many people do share that sentiment, absolutely. Shirley, you're standing by, 669-10028. Hi, Shirley.
Hi.
Hi, good day. Thank you for joining us. What do you think, Shirley?
Yes, I just want to make a point. When we employ a maid, there are two kinds of salary we pay. One is no day off, and one is with day off, which you pay higher. That means you compensate, right?
Yes. Okay. And
okay. So now the government, the MMM comes up with 1 day every week. The reason we need a helping hand is because we cannot cope. I'm working. Mm-hmm. I'm 61. My mother-in-law is 94, 100% dependent. She can't move. have to change.
Absolutely, Shirley, I completely understand what you mean. We do know, in fact, when we were discussing this topic, we did come to the point that, you know what, there are many people who are fully dependent on the extra pair of hands because they really need the help in the home. It could be an aged family member. Yeah. It could be the fact that there's nobody else to participate in the caregiving process as well. In these situations, it can be a little bit difficult to instill this one day off as well. John, would you shed any light on this kind of situation? Actually, we'll come to you in just a moment.
Right. Well, under the new M1 ruling, there are provisions that allow employers to compensate maids with a day's wages for every day of rest foregone. But would maids prefer to have the day off or be compensated?
Pera na lang muna. Kasi pag day off, magastos kung laging every Sunday. Pera sa akin. Mas gusto ko ang pera dahil I have my son in college because when you have your day off, you can meet your friends, you can go to church. How much money they can pay you? $20? They pay me $50 the whole day. $50 ang binibigay ng amo ko. Okay na sa akin yung 100 na bibigay ng amo ko. $16, but the minimum is $20. Because the agreement here is one day $30. No, I don't want $16 and I want every Sunday off and if possible, I want to take holiday.
Well, what exactly constitutes a day's wage? Well, some of the workers we spoke to get paid at least 50 and some 20. Well, is there a need to standardize this compensation?
That is something that we definitely want to pick up on when we continue just ahead. John, giving you an idea, giving you a chance to answer that actually?
I think that's something that the employers and the workers would have to negotiate. But what we shouldn't see is a situation where people are feeling that they have to work every day that they're with the employer and they have to give up their day off simply because they're not being paid enough in the first place. I realise that for a lot of employers it's a strain to keep up those payments, but the worker has rights as well. And
even in a situation like our last caller who desperately needs the helping hands?
That's exactly the situation we have to look at and see how we can find alternative means of support. We shouldn't rest with a situation where a worker doesn't have a day off. And particularly where you're looking after an elderly person, it can be a great strain on the worker. It can fray her temper. And it really is difficult. If you're the carer yourself, you would know that that's a hard situation to take.
Care for the caregiver.
Yes.
We're going to go to 669-110028. Thanks for our comments. We're going to come back to the couch in just a moment, but we're going to go to the phone lines, and we've got somebody standing by. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, Daniel Martin here. Thanks for calling us on Talking Point The Vote. What is your comment about this?
All right, I'm a working mother. I'm a teacher. So I'm working Monday to Friday, and both my kids, who are below 6, are actually in the childcare. Now, my maid, I felt that my maid is actually having sufficient rest at home. And I'm having a husband who's actually outstation most of the time. And I am really stranded, especially on weekends, where I have to attend to church and all that. So I actually need a maid. But the thing here is, my maid actually asked me for an off day only on the weekends. Now, how could you help me?
So you are definitely against the idea of a mandatory one-day break. What if it wasn't on the weekend? What if it was on a weekday? Would it make a difference?
It would be a bit of tight on me because I'm working actually from morning till evening. You know, being a teacher, I have extra workload at home. I do carry my work home. So I feel that maybe the maid has sufficient rest because Monday to Friday the kids are already in the child care.
I understand.
So why the off day?
Thank you very much for that. A lot of people are still saying, I would say it's still in the high 70 percentiles, why the off day altogether? And you've given
all too much at once. Maybe we should start off with something maybe once a month or two times a month instead of once every week. Is that too much?
Well, we've been discussing this for years.
Yes.
I mean, we worked for this for 10 years. So it's not as if the issues couldn't be thought out. I think it's up to people to think about what would be the most convenient arrangement. I mean, for lots of people, the Sunday would seem to be the obvious day, but it doesn't have to be. Maybe in the case of the lady who we just heard from, agreeing with the worker to have a day off during the week And then seeing how you can sort out work with your family. You can always see how work can be rearranged.
Right.
So, for example, you're not doing the same work every day of the week. You can move some work to Saturday or Monday if Sunday is the day off.
To our callers, do you agree with that? Leave your comments right now at our Twitter page at TPVote or on our Facebook page right now.
All right, we have to go for a quick break, but when we come back, we'll have lots more because we'll be taking a closer look at various aspects of the system of hiring maids in Singapore. We'll be right back.